mama for a buck like that.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Marvel heroes with disturbing backstories.
Calls itself Rocket, the result of illegal genetic and cybernetic experiments on a lower life form.
For this list, we'll be looking at some of the most poignant good guy backstories in Marvel Comics history. Villains won't be considered, as they deserve their own list. Which hero's backstory touched you the most? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Drax the Destroyer, Arthur Douglas. The comic backstory of Drax the Destroyer is something that has thus far been omitted from the MCU. In the comics, real estate agent and wicked saxophone player Arthur Douglas was driving through the Mojave Desert with his wife and daughter. Thanos happened to be flying over the same area, spotted their vehicle and destroyed it, not wishing any witnesses to his presence. Seeing the threat posed by his son, Thanos' father, Mentor, along with Kronos, managed to capture Douglas's astral form and cast it into a new body. Thus, Drax the Destroyer was born, bearing the vindictive drive to destroy Thanos. Thanos! Number 9. Zeitgeist, Axel Clooney. The X-Men are a large bunch, and honestly the possibilities are endless when it comes to potential mutations. Zeitgeist, or Axel Clooney, definitely ended up on the worst end of the superpower spectrum. He vomits acid.
I'm a Zeitgeist. Cool. I like it. So you have the power to put your finger on the pulse of society?
No, I spit acidic vomit.
Oh.
His early biography is not known. However, the story of how he first discovered his unfortunate power is quite sad and kind of gross. Clooney was making out with a girl when his power manifested, and he accidentally disfigured his date when he acidically regurgitated on her. She survived, but Clooney was forever haunted by the incident, and in particular the fact that he couldn't remember her name. Not cool, player. Number 8. US Agent John Walker. Much like his MCU portrayal, John Walker assumes the role of Captain America when Steve Rogers steps down.
I don't have the flashiest gadgets, I don't have super strength. But what I do have is guts. Something Captain America always had, always needs to have, and I'm gonna need every ounce of it. Because I got big shoes to fill.
After initially discrediting Rogers, he soon realizes there's more to being Cap than wearing the uniform. Things take a turn for the worse for Walker when two of his former army pals publicly reveal his identity. The villainous group, the Watchdogs, proceed to capture Walker's parents and hold them hostage. While he tries to rescue them, they end up being killed by the group. Not only does Walker kill the Watchdogs, he also captures and nearly kills the two responsible for leaking his identity. Eventually, he's stripped of his role as Captain America, and he realizes he could never compare to Steve Rogers. Number 7. Black Bolt, Blackagar Boltigan. Another victim of terrible superpowers, Black Bolt has the ability to emit quasi-sonic energy with his voice. When he was born on the floating island of Adelan, it was determined by his top geneticist parents that he should be in isolation. He was thus kept so until the age of 19, at which time he rejoined society. A month after this, he found out his brother Maximus was conspiring with the Kree alien emissaries. Bolt decided to put an end to this by crashing the Kree ship. He thus used his power and the Kree ship crashed. However, the crash killed a large number of his people, including his parents. Number 6. Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew. There are a lot of bad parenting decisions in Marvel Comics. Jessica Drew's father was a geneticist and settled the family on land rich in uranium. This affected the young Jessica, and she fell ill when she was around 4 years old. Her father was also an expert on arachnid immunology and decided to inject Jessica with a previously untested concoction of a variety of spider bloods. What could go wrong? The healing process was so slow she had to be placed in stasis for decades, with the chamber she was in slowing her aging. When she finally got out, she ended up accidentally killing her boyfriend in a freak bioelectric blast incident. She then had a stint in Hydra, which also ended badly. Number 5. Rocket Raccoon. This one is bizarre. In the Keystone Quadrant, a section of space found within the black holes of the Sirius Major, there was an asylum for the criminally insane. The caretakers for said asylum got tired of working there, so created sentient robots to replace themselves. The robots then got tired of the place and decided to take the inmates' support animals, grant them human awareness, and put them in charge.
Well, I didn't ask to get made. I didn't ask to be torn apart and put back together over and over and turned into some little monster.
Rocket Raccoon was among these poor creatures and was submitted to a painful process. His more prominent personality traits and interests were the result of his inmate friend Kevix, who was foul-mouthed and loved old war movies. Rocket also considered Kevix to be the last person to ever be good to him. Number 4. Jessica Jones. In the comics world, Jessica Jones was a student at Midtown High, in the same class and grade as Peter Parker. She had a crush on him, but never acted on it. Oh, what might have been. She and her family took a trip to Disney World, and upon their return, their car collided with a military vehicle carrying, you guessed it, radioactive materials. She was the sole survivor and spent the subsequent months in a coma. She awoke from her coma just in time to be exposed to the cosmic radiation given off by the Fantastic Four's battle with Galactus. The combination of all these things granted her a number of superhuman abilities, including strength, fast healing, longevity, flight, and so on. Number 3. Deadpool, Wade Wilson. Wade Wilson's backstory is quite tragic, despite his seemingly devil-may-care attitude.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s. Dad?
In his childhood days, he was mistreated by both his mother and father. He was then placed in foster care, where he was also mistreated by his foster mother. He then went on to become a mercenary, and much like some other Marvel mercs, things went south in that occupation. He was then diagnosed with terminal cancer and offered a potential cure by joining the Weapon X program, same guys Wolverine was subject to. He was duped, however, and injected with a serum that did not rid him of his cancer, but made him immortal in all aspects. That's why he's not so handsome. He's basically walking cancer with severe PTSD. Number 2. Blade, Eric Brooks. Eric Brooks is half man, half vampire, which is referred to as Dampier in the comics. How he got this way, however, is quite unsettling. His pregnant mother, Tara, was sent to England by his father Lucas, who had been taken prisoner in Latveria. Upon having complications while in labor, Tara consulted a doctor, Deacon Frost. Frost, however, turned out to be a vampire, and he fed on Tara as she birthed Eric. The infant was thus infused with vampiric enzymes, yet did not quite turn into a full-fledged vampire. Frost left the child alive, and Eric Brooks was raised in a brothel. Brooks encountered vampire hunter Jamal Afari on the streets of London and was trained and fostered by him. He went on to eventually call himself Blade.
Deacon Frost. We've been tracking him for a long time.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Wolverine, James Logan Howlett. James Howlett was born in Alberta, Canada, sometime between 1882 and 1885. He was the illegitimate son of Elizabeth Howlett and her groundskeeper, Thomas Logan. The groundskeeper drunkenly shot and killed John Howlett, Elizabeth's husband. This event is what saw young James first manifest his mutation, as bone claws tore through the backs of his hands and he used them to kill Thomas Logan. He was then forced into hiding, adopting the name Logan and being given the nickname Wolverine by some co-workers. His traumatic past was eventually erased by his healing abilities as they healed his mind. Weapon X came much later and made all this worse. Wolverine's DNA was later used to create X-23 or Laura Kinney, a clone trained as a weapon. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.